There's things that you don't know that are the best things for you. You don't plan for them, you plan for other things. And the universe turns back and gives you something that at the beginning maybe you don't like, or you are like, why is this happening to me? Or why aren't they kind of giving me the right that I have? But then later on you realize it's actually, it was the best thing that could happen to you. Hey, look at this beautiful place. This is Cannes, and I'm driving from, where am I driving from? I'm driving from Nice, France to Marseille in France, and we're just passing Cannes. Yesterday actually Cannes Festival finished whenever I'm recording this. So that was super fun, and then now we are crossing the city to go to Marseille on our way. And just remembered one thing. A few days ago when we were recording another video, we recorded a video of the car that we rented here in Europe. And I have a gold membership with several car rental companies because I rent a lot of cars, obviously. And usually when we kind of rent a car, they upgrade us because of our gold membership with them. They upgrade us to another level. So I usually get like a compact car, and then they give us a mid-size car or a full-size car, or even an SUV sometimes. So, but this time, as always, like I rented a compact car in the hope of getting there and getting a SUV or at least a mid-size car. And the person said because of the length of our rental is too long, we're renting the car for 65 days. She said she can't upgrade it because it's summer, and like she's just not willing to do it. So at the beginning I was like, oh damn it, like I really was hoping for a better car than a compact car. But then if you have ever read the first chapter of the first volume of The Game Changer, which is the book that I and my students write once a year on motivational stories of what changed a person's life. The first chapter of the first volume of the Game Changer book is my story of what created an unconditional trust in the universe in me. I was sick, I went to a hospital, and we realized that there is nothing anybody can do. And I started kind of giving in and started like trusting the universe. And I said, well, whatever happens, happens, because apparently I don't know what's the best thing for me right now. Interesting enough, that whole story of that sickness changed my entire life and the course of my life. So when things like that happen, I don't get extremely like stressed, or like I don't go mad and crazy and stuff like that. And I was like, well, you know what? I don't know the reason that why we didn't get SUV or we didn't get a mid-sized car that our membership, the gold membership, kind of gives us. But I'm gonna trust the universe, and we're gonna enjoy the car. So the first day we sit in the car, I said, like not the best car, like seriously not the best car. I recorded another video, you may find it on Instagram, that 0 to 60 it goes in like 10 seconds, but this is not 0 to 60 miles, this is 0 to 60 kilometers. It's like 36 miles, so it's like it takes forever to move. It's an underpowered small like little car. But as we continued using the car, yesterday we got to Old Nice, and Old Nice is an amazing, like great looking place. However, it has very, very, very narrow streets, and literally we were following Google Maps, and literally we ended up in a city that would fit the size, the width of our car, plus maybe one bee beside us. I mean, not even joking, like a human being couldn't stand beside that road and our car, like we wouldn't fit together, right? I was thinking at that moment that if we had rented an SUV, we would not be able to cross all these little narrow places and the beautiful places that we are seeing right now. We would get stuck in every single street. It's like because we're driving from back alley to back alley, right? I mean, my wife and I love road trips. So at that point, I realized that trust in the universe is still there, and it just kind of there's things that you don't know that are the best things for you. You don't plan for them, you plan for other things, and the universe turns back and gives you something that at the beginning maybe you don't like, or you are like, why is this happening to me, or why aren't they kind of giving me the right that I have? But then later on you realize it's actually it was the best thing that could happen to you. So but always remember that what happens to you has a reason. There is a reason, and there is a lesson to it. Now, sometimes you don't see it right away. You see it later on, and sometimes you see it absolutely right away, and it just comes up within a few minutes or a few hours. I actually remember a few days ago. I was standing. I was in Vancouver actually. That was before I come to Europe for this trip that I'm on right now. But we had this. I was behind a red light, and there's this person who jumped in front of my car when the light turned green. Right. So the light turned green. I started to go, and then somebody jumped in front of my car. So I just kind of had to put my foot on brake, like suddenly, and just like stopped. And a second later, another car on the other side of the street. So I was mad, right? I was mad at this guy who jumped in front of my car. But then, like literally a second later, another car crossed the red light, passed the red light, and just whoosh, zooming. If that guy hadn't jumped in front of my car and stopped me, the other car would hit my door and would kind of come in, like literally come in with full speed. He didn't see the red light at all. Like it just crossed as if it was green light. And I don't know if it saved my life or it saved at least a broken bone or a broken shoulder or something. My whole trip would change. I'm so grateful to that person who jumped in front of my car because it just changed the course of at least 2 months of my life, or even forever of my life, because there was a high chance that actually right on the other side of the street, like right beside my car, there were these other people who were crossing the street as well. So if that car would hit me, I would hit those pedestrians because my car would turn and would hit the pedestrians. So it would just get a mess. So some stuff happens, and right away within a minute, you realize that how the world is working for you. And then some stuff happens that you don't right away realize, but you realize it later on. But the matter is that if you stay grateful to the things that happens to you, and you realize and have this unconditional trust toward the universe, that anything that happens to you is the best thing that can happen to you, but you don't know the reason at the moment, you start getting a different perspective of life. So I just wanted to share this with you because I'm a big believer in this. I'm a big believer in trusting in the universe and knowing that what happens in it is the best thing that could happen to me. Sometimes I don't know the reason. And I see that a lot of people who suffer every day is because they feel like their rights are taken away and their power is in something else, and somebody is like kind of ripping them off. Which kind of I could think exactly the same way, right? I was like, well, this is my membership. My membership allows me one level car upgrade, and everybody does it. So why don't you guys do it, right? I could see it as like they're ripping me off. But actually that just so happens to be the best thing that could happen to me, and I didn't know at that particular moment. So always be grateful, always stay grateful. I recorded another video on like being satisfied and not being grateful. It's just, those are two different things. You can be unsatisfied but still be grateful for things that you have. And I know that some people say, well, if you're 100% satisfied, well, if you're 100% grateful, then you would be satisfied. I don't agree with that. Those are two different things. Those are two absolutely different things. You can always be grateful to life, but be unsatisfied about things that happen, and that creates room for you to grow. Anyhow, long story short, that's my suggestion to you. Have unconditional trust in the universe and know that what happens to you is the best thing that can happen to you. Sometimes you know the reason right now, sometimes you don't. And if you have any story about this, just go below and comment below for me and let me know about what those stories are. Thanks and see you soon.